So this is subprogram concept, okay? Main program, subprogram. Now, in which scenarios a subprogram is used in mainframe in Cobol? So subprogram is also a Cobol program. It's a Cobol program, in fact, Cobol program only, but it is called from another program to perform some tasks. Now, in which scenarios subprograms are used? Imagine you have a Cobol program where you have an input file. It might have, suppose, 20 fields. You are generating one output file from that, and then in that output file you have few fields, okay? Now, evaluation of few fields are easy, simple, but evaluation of few fields are very tough, very lengthy, okay? Evaluation of some output fields are very lengthy and very tough. Now, if you code everything in the main program, sometimes it becomes very messy to understand the main program flow. That time, what we do is, for those complex calculations, what we do, we keep it in a separate program only. Suppose that evaluation process is only 1,000 lines long. We keep it in a separate program and we call the program from the main program. We pass the value from the main program and we do the calculation in the subprogram. The output is again passed from the subprogram to the main program, and this is how it is evaluated. This is one case. Next case is, there are some generic processes which go on in a project. For example, there's a date evaluation process, date format check process. There's an input file where a date is coming. Now you need to check the date format. As in, the date should be in YYYY-MM-DD format. Okay. Now, before processing the date, you need to check whether the date is in correct format or not, whether it is YYYY-MM-DD format or not. And also, you need to check each and every field, like the year should not be below 1900, it should not be above current year. The month should be in the range of 01 to 12, and also January, March, May, July, August, October, December should not cross 31. Remaining months should not cross 30. February should not cross 28 or 29. Leap year concept is also there. Those also you need to check. And in between hyphen should be there. So there are so many different calculations. Now this process, suppose, is generic. There are many programs or many files where this kind of input field is coming, and before processing them you are checking the date format in many of the programs. Okay. Now what you can do is, in that case, you can write a common program where the date format check is going on. And in each of the programs where the date format check is going on, you just can call the same subprogram. So in that case, you can create a generic subprogram. Okay.
Oh,
This is how we can. So these are some cases where subprogram concept is used. So I will give you a basic example of a subprogram concept. So this is a main program. Okay. Now in the main program, you can see there is a working storage variable A. Picture clause x of 10, procedure division. I'm initializing this. Now I'm moving a value 2022-08-31 to this variable. Now my requirement is to change this format to without hyphen format, like 2022-08-31. It should be 2022-08-31. A hyphen should not be there in the output.
oh,
Okay. Now this is very easy. Without even using subprogram, you can do it. This is easy only, but I'll show you how to do it using subprogram. Now after moving this value to this variable, I'm displaying before subpgm call. I'm displaying this value. Then I'm calling a subprogram. Okay. I'm calling a subprogram. The name of the subprogram is subpgm2 using by reference. Now, what is the meaning of using by reference? I'll tell you. A. Now,
oh,
why should I call a subprogram by passing a value? Because in this subprogram, I'm changing this YYYY-MM-DD format to YYYY-MMDD format. I'm removing the hyphen. So I have to pass the value, right, to the subprogram. Then only it will take the input and it will
Yes.
change it. That is why I have to pass it via this variable a. Now in this subprogram, that calculation is going on, and finally, without hyphen format is passed from the subprogram to the main program, and finally I'm displaying it here in the main program. So we'll see what is going on in the subprogram. Here I'm calling the subprogram with this variable. What is the value of this variable a? 2022 hyphen 30 hyphen 08 hyphen 31. Now go to the subprogram. So in this subprogram, you will see I have first of all taken one working storage variable ws date, where I have three variables ws year, ws month, ws day, x of 4, x of 2, x of 2, without hyphen. See, there is no hyphen. I have taken a date variable where year, month, and day are there. Now there is something called linkage section. Now what is a linkage section? Linkage section is a section which comes under data division, which is used to link two programs. Suppose you are passing data from one program to another program, that data is accepted in linkage section. And also,
Oh,
suppose you are passing data from JCL to Cobol program through Palm. In JCL through Palm, we can pass data from JCL to Cobol program. That variable also should be accepted in linkage section. That is why it's called linkage. It links two programs or a program and a JCL. So whatever data is passed from one
okay.
program to subprogram, that data is accepted here. Whatever data is passed from one JCL to a Cobol program via Palm parameter is accepted here. Now, from the main program, I passed a. What is the length of a? X of 10. With the same length, I
Okay.
have declared one variable lsb. Now, ls stands for linkage section. You can give any name, does not matter. Now, procedure division
Okay.
using lsb. This is the only difference that you can find in case of this one linkage subprogram. Whenever you write a procedure division in subprogram, you have to write using the linkage section variable, because subprogram does not have anything extra to do. What it does is whatever value it receives from another program, it takes the variable and processes the program. So we have to write
Mm.
procedure division using that variable. This is the difference. Now sometimes you are asked in interviews what is the difference between main program and subprogram. You have to tell this reason also, this difference also. Now this ws date variable that I took, I'm initializing that. There is no value currently. Now using reference modification, so you know reference modification. The data from main program I have passed through A to the subprogram. What is the value of A? 2022 0831. Same value comes and is pasted in the LSB also. LSB also currently has 2022 0831 value.
Okay.
Now using reference modification, I am extracting only the year, month, and day, and I'm putting into WS year, WS month, WS day. So LSB 1 is to
Mhm.
4. 1 is to 4 means first position 4 length from here to here. These 4 positions I am moving to WS here. The LSB 6 is to 2. What is the sixth position? This. 2 means this one. 6 is to 2 WS month. LSB 9 is to 2 from here to here. Move to WS
Okay.
day. Then these three variables have first one has 2022, second one has 08, third one has 31, and all three variables constitute WS date. Okay, so since WS date is a group variable,
Okay.
it has three sub-elementary variables under it. So the combined value of these three sub-elementary variables will be the value of WS date. So WS date will have a value 2022 0831. Now that same WS date,
Okay.
I'm again moving to LSB. LSB initially had a value 2022 hyphen 08 hyphen 31. Now since I'm moving without hyphen date to LSB, it is it has replaced the original value. Now LSB has without hyphen value. So when I change the value for LSB, same thing is reflected in A also.
Mm.
Okay. Now using go back, okay, then there is a display, then go back. Go back means the control is passed to the main program. So subprogram is just a part of the
Mm.
main program, okay? Now after calling the subprogram, there
Okay.
might be other lines to perform in the main program also, right? That is why after
Yeah.
subprogram is done, the control should be back to the main program, because after that main program might have other lines also to perform. Now, when LSB value is replaced with without hyphen format, it comes back to the main program. And when it comes back to the main program, the value of A also is impacted. It also has without hyphen format now. Then I'm displaying A again. Then you can see the difference. Before subprogram call, it was with hyphen. After subprogram call, it will be without hyphen. This is how subprograms are used. You can call the subprogram can be used for any purpose. Okay, it can be so based on your project. You can have any code. So whenever you pass any data, you have to pass through a variable. That operation will be done in the subprogram. Then the output value will be passed to the main program again. Understood? Now, why is the value of A impacted when the value of LSB is changed? This is the thing called, this is done because of this thing called using by reference. So using by reference is the mode of calling a subprogram, a program, okay? Mode of calling, using by reference.
Okay.
So this A, which is there in the main program, is called actual parameter. And this LSB, which is there in subprogram, is called formal parameter. Okay. Now, whenever you call a subprogram with using by reference, what happens is this actual parameter and this formal parameter, they stay in the same memory location. Okay, same memory location.
Okay.
Suppose this is the value for A. Okay, A length of A is 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 slots. This is actual parameter A. And what is the value? 2022 hyphen huh? How to change the format? Do you know? Okay, so I'll write underscore, okay, but think it is hyphen. I'm not sure. There's some settings is on. So 08, then 31. This is how the memory looks like, right? First slot 2, in the second slot 0 will come. This is how the memory will look like. Now there is some, when I pass the same value to the subprogram, the value for LSB also becomes the same.
Yes.
LSB also has 10 length. The value for LSB also becomes the same. Now, when after calculation in LSB, when I change it and make it this thing, so when the hyphens are removed from the from LSB, since I'm calling main program, I'm calling the subprogram with using by reference, what happens is system allocates only 10 bytes. Okay, for both of them, they stay in the same memory location. System does not allocate separate 10 bytes for A, separate 10 bytes for LSB. System allocates same memory location for both of them. Then what happens is whenever I change something in LSB, automatically it reflects in A also because they're staying in the same memory location. If you and your friend stay in the same room, then all the things in the room belong to both of you. The fans, the windows, the doors, everything, right? But if you and your friends stay in separate rooms, then your things are your things. His belongings will be his belongings. You cannot claim that your things are mine. Your window, your room light, your fans, these are mine. You cannot say that. But if both of you are sharing same room, everything belongs to both of you. Similarly, since I'm calling the subprogram with using by reference, system will allocate same memory location for both of them, only 10 bytes. There, both of them will stay. Now, if whatever value I'm passing from A from the through A from main program to subprogram, the value of LSB will be the same. Now in LSB in the subprogram, whatever changes I make, the same value will be reflected in A also automatically. This is why using by reference is used. Okay. There is another thing called using by content, using by value. So there are two modes of calling: using by reference, using by content. The concept is called using by value. While writing, you have to write using by content like this. So the meaning of using by content is the memory location of A and A and LSB will be different. It will have 10 bytes separate, it will
Oh,
have 10 bytes separate.
different space.
So whatever changes you make to LSB will not reflect A. So there is no point.
Okay.
So in the subprogram, whatever changes you make when the control comes back from subprogram to the main program, the value of main program variable will still be the same. So we should use using by reference. And in real time, you will not see using by reference also, you will directly see using A. Like this, they'll write. Call subprogram using A.
Yes.
By reference, by content, they don't write. So the meaning of this
Okay.
is using A means using by reference. Default value of this is using by reference.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the main program. So whenever you write main program, subprogram, always, so first of all, you need to compile the subprogram.
Oh,
Okay, so subprogram is compiled, then you can compile the main program. So for the first time, okay, whenever you write the program for the first time, subprogram also, main program also, you can compile the subprogram, then you can compile the main program.
okay.
Now, while executing, you have to execute main program only. Subprogram you cannot execute. You have to execute main program while executing.
Hmm.
So submit it. Now go to spool and check. See, before subpgm call with hyphen, inside this display comes from subprogram. So inside subprogram, hyphen is removed, and this is in the main program after subpgm call without hyphen. See, got it?
Done.